Hello folks, Mark Joe here, and boy, what a remarkable sequence of events that we have all experienced in just the last few days. So many aspects of our daily living that I would have never thought would be impacted on this level have happened. It's surreal, it's unbelievable, and this hysteria with the COVID-19 virus will certainly be remembered for generations to come. It's become one of those pandemics where there'll be movies, there'll be books, and songs perhaps that will directly be tied to this. Heck, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a huge society movement that results from this, kind of very much like when we had the Black Plague many centuries ago, and how that helped give way to the Renaissance in the 14th century. I might be exaggerating, I might be wrong, but hey, you never know. But anyway, this whole madness surrounding this has motivated me to chronicle this whole thing. As you saw and heard, I quickly wrote this very new modern techno sounding theme song solely for this these videos that could be a few and could be numerous. So a theme song for this opening, and I wanted to write something that screamed medicine and urgency, but also has this little upbeat and pep to it. Also, I am still using Windows Movie Maker from like 8 years ago, so please don't mind the very cheap, simplistic, and outdated production. And I've done this. This is not the first time I've done a series of videos like this. I did this very similarly when Hurricane Sandy hit in 2012, and now I'm going to do the same for the coronavirus crisis here. It may very well be that these videos are going to end up looking like a daily vlog video that millions of people on YouTube have done already, but frankly, that might be the best sight to see, when you see just normal stuff happening, because I'm pretty sure that you viewers who are watching this out there don't want to see me suffer, right? I don't deserve it, and I don't think anybody else does. Even the people that you hate. But okay, anyway, it's the evening of March 17th. It's roughly 11:30 in the evening, Eastern Standard Time. Still St. Patrick's Day, hence the green theme on display with the green lights, the green shirt, and Clorox and Lysol, just for good measure. And throughout this whole day, and then in the days prior, leading up to today, news stories of cities shutting down and the military being called in. It's a lot to process, and I'm very curious to see what becomes of this over the course of the next few weeks. And as implied a moment ago, this is going to sort of be like a daily vlog of what life is going to be like during this whole quarantine, lockdown, or whatever you want to call it. But rather than, uploading one video corresponding to one day worth of filming, basically, I have this one big video with 6 days worth of with footage that was filmed over the course of 1 week or 5 days, whatever. So it's just going to be one giant compilation episode, basically. And from time to time in these videos, I'll also be inserting segments where I will explain my own opinion on this whole situation. I mean, controversy is unavoidable at this point, so I might as well just explain a little bit of what I think. I'm not going to try to bombard and explain everything all in one take. It'll be sprinkled throughout, one little element, one little portion at a time, so that way it wouldn't be as painful for you to listen, especially if you disagree with some of what my views are of this whole thing. But other stuff that I might put on as an interlude is maybe a personal story that relating to the virus that happened to me. And eventually, as this situation improves, I may ask my friends to see if they would like to go on camera and talk about their experiences. You know, I'm basically going to be an interviewer, interviewing my friends, and if, hopefully they will be gracious enough to appear on the COVID-19 Chronicles. So that's just a little bit for now. I know I already explained a lot, but for now, just enjoy these little bit of footage that I recorded hours ago, which includes a news clip, and then I'll be filming some more, and they'll be part of this video. Alright, folks, St. Patrick's Day 2020, and for the first time in 250 plus years, there was no St. Patrick's Day parade in New York, as probably in the rest of the nation. I know in my town, the parade was supposed to have been on Sunday, this past Sunday, and now it's been postponed to May 16th, and I don't even know if we'll recover from that. But anyway, yes, stuck at home. This curfew, it's 9:24 according to the clock, and celebrating St. Patrick's Day with corned beef, rice, side of cabbage, and fruit and celery. So, yeah, happy St. Patrick's Day. Just one of many days to come. Just being, confined to just my neighborhood.
And with West Virginia reporting its first case of COVID-19, well, the coronavirus is now spreading in all 50 states. We've got team coverage of the coronavirus outbreak tonight. Let's start with our Matt King with more on the mayor's warning. Mac.
Yes, Steve Derry, both the mayor and the governor held their daily news conferences today, updating us on the latest totals of infected New Yorkers, more than 800 in the city, more than 1,700 in the state, but they seem to differ on the possibility and definition of a full city lockdown.
People spread rumors. Well, maybe you're going to quarantine New York City. We hear New York City is going to quarantine itself. That is not true. That cannot happen.
First, Cuomo said that Tuesday morning of a rumored order for New York City to shelter in place.
It cannot happen legally. No city in the state can quarantine itself without state approval. And I have no interest whatsoever and no plan whatsoever to quarantine any city.
I think New Yorkers should be prepared right now for the possibility of a shelter-in-place order.
Then, Tuesday afternoon, de Blasio stirred up shelter-in-place anxiety anew.
I believe that decision should be made in the next 48 hours.
Apparently leading the governor to call into New York One to double down on his promise from the morning.
There's not going to be any "you must stay in your house" rule. Because again, that'll just cause people to go somewhere else, and it would be counterproductive.
Over the past few days, New Jersey has seen a significant increase in the volume of cases.
The majority of cases are in Bergen County, just over the George Washington Bridge, with Essex and Hudson counties also seeing a surge of infections.
This is no time to panic, but equally this is no time for business as usual.
Governor Murphy already closed schools, bars, and restaurants. Now he's taking it a step further to slow the spread of the illness, shutting down all malls and amusement parks. These images from above the Garden State Plaza Mall.
Please, God, stay at home whenever you can.
The Garden State also opening multiple testing facilities. This is video from the drive-through site in Secaucus at Hudson Regional Hospital. The testing is done by appointment only. Still, Murphy is also asking the federal government to consider sending in the Army Corps of Engineers to build new temporary medical facilities.
This move would be prudent to expand capacity and alleviate the strain on our hospitals.
We're issuing a new policy of self-isolation within our mile-square city.
In Hoboken, elected officials issuing a new policy of self-isolation for residents closing all non-essential businesses like barbershops and nail salons. The mayor says there are now 5 confirmed cases of COVID-19, and he expects that number to climb.
Okay, folks, so driving here through the main roads of my local town seems to be, life as normal. There's a pretty good amount of cars that are still here on the road. This is what I usually see on any given day. Today, being that it's Wednesday, we know that Governor Murphy has announced that all schools, universities, and malls closed. As far as restaurants or maybe some takeout places like fast food chains, I think they're still open. You just have to order takeout. You can still order food. Supermarkets are still open for people to go and get their shopping done. But I'm passing by right by my middle school right now, and up ahead is the high school, and obviously parking spaces there are empty. I might take some pictures very soon. But yeah, what I'm doing here is I'm just simply driving around town and going to see what the scene is like in terms of these like supermarkets, and we're coming up to a shop right ahead. As you can see, there's a considerable amount of people over at ShopRite right now. Fortunately, I'm not gonna go in. I'm just gonna pass and take just one swipe through around the parking lot just to get all of this on camera. How much are you willing to bet that all the toilet paper and the Clorox and the Lysol are gone? Alright, now I'm gonna head over to Walmart, which I would expect the same kind of crowd. Not too bad. The crowd doesn't look too bad at Walmart right now. ShopRite is considerably more crowded in the parking lot. So right on my left is Panera Bread. Nope, don't see anybody eating in there. Everything, I believe, is all just takeout. Maybe just for fun, I might just for fun later on, maybe tomorrow or after I do my filming, I'm gonna try to just order something from there for lunch. Maybe not at this branch, but somewhere else. There's multiple Panera locations around around this town. So next what we're gonna head into is we're gonna go to a mall, which is located just maybe about 5 miles from here, in a neighboring town. Neighboring town of East Brunswick. Again, the whole theme here is business as usual, just a little bit modified. And that's really all what it is. This is not like a, shelter in place as New York is planning on becoming. Everybody just going about their business as usual. Kids are home. Many people working from home. Some people like me who don't have a job for now. Again, gives me more opportunities to experience this whole event. Alright, here we are, East Brunswick. A mall called Brunswick Square. Very sparse parking lot. Right there is a Macy's. Gonna make our way to the other side. Go around the perimeter. Even though this is not a lot, there's not a lot of cars to begin with on any given weekday here at Macy's, it's still surreal to see just this lot empty. And if we go over to the other side, we have a mall entrance. The back entrance to the main mall. There's also a movie theater that I'm pretty sure is also closed down. Unless you're grounds crew, someone who has just the groundskeeper, no one else is here. The AMC Theater, that's the theater that's part of this mall. Only essential personnel are allowed in the mall today, which explains why there's just a few cars here. Maintenance department. I think anyone who's a manager, or I don't know. But the Barnes & Noble looks like it's still open, and I think those cars are for Panera. Because the Barnes & Nobles has a Starbucks, and I don't think they close. You've all heard of this expression before. The only thing that people need to fear is fear itself. And for the longest time, since the advent of radio, television, even going back to the printing press, doom and gloom dominates. Whenever we hear of such a tragic story, that news networks need to emphasize the doom and gloom part and less on the optimistic part. And this is dangerous because people who look into this too seriously, not taking it with a grain of salt whatsoever, is when chaos ensues, is when we get fear-driven. At this point, as of March 18, all I can do and all that we can do as a society is deal with it. Just take it everything in stride. And maybe it's for the best that all of this is happening. And we won't know for sure what either the consequence or reward will be until the summer months. But as of now, I live with no worry in mind. And I think that's what a lot of people should be doing in the midst of all of this.